Just 48 hours ago, it was difficult to see how anything in the banking industry could eclipse the problems suffered by RBS, NatWest and Ulster Bank as a result of the RBS Group software glitch. Yet here we are, with the industry thrown further into turmoil by events unfolding at Barclays as a result of the LIBOR interest rate scandal. One of the problems of such a crisis is understanding the impact it's having on consumers. Obviously, this is going to be negative, so conducting tonal analysis using traditional media evaluation is going to tell you nothing other than this obvious fact. And, in any event, traditional media evaluation will only tell you what's happening in the media, and again, this is not going to be difficult to predict. At Spectrum Insight, we're carrying out analysis into the Barclays banking crisis based on real-time consumer insight from Twitter. Crucially, we can reveal not only the scale of negative consumer feelings, but also the type. Your first reaction is likely to be that consumers would be angry, and indeed they are. However, the level of anger since the crisis broke just a few days ago is not much greater than on a typical day for the bank. In fact, the major responses of consumers are disgust, contempt, and surprise. In many ways, this type of response is far more of a worry for Barclays than anger, because disgust and contempt are powerful emotions that express revulsion, normally reserved for the worst type of consumer opinion, whereas anger, although powerful and negative, is more inclined to pass once the crisis is dissipated. One of the biggest questions arising from the Barclays scandal is whether the bank's CEO, Bob Diamond, should resign. Public opinion will play a big part in this because every bank needs customers on the high street, so understanding how consumer opinion is developing is very important. Let's have a look to see what our analysis is telling us about this at the moment. Having looked at the impact of the banking scandal on Barclays, we're now going to turn our attention to Barclays CEO Bob Diamond. As you can see from this chart, he's been closely linked to the scandal by consumers. The peak, by the way, in the middle of June was when he was commenting on the European banks. What you can see, however, over the last couple of days is the massive spike in online comment for Bob Diamond by consumers in response to the banking scandal. The question is, can he survive? And that's what we're going to look at in the next chart. In the previous chart, we could see that Bob Diamond, Barclays CEO, is inextricably linked to the scandal that's engulfing Barclays. The question, however, is should he resign? From this chart, you can see that in the court of public opinion, Diamond's fate already looks sealed. One of the biggest problems he faces is a lack of trust, which is ebbing away very rapidly from him as CEO of the bank. Based on real-time consumer insight, we reckon Diamond's chances of survival are no better than 5%. In summary, while consumers are bound to react negatively to a crisis such as the Barclays LIBOR scandal, understanding the type of sentiment associated with it is crucial. And as we've seen from this brief analysis, the response of consumers goes much deeper than just anger, which has major implications for how the organisation reacts. As a result, this type of real-time analysis is crucial for public relations as well as senior general and brand management. We can also use the analysis to gauge public opinion about what are likely to be critical developments, and in the case of Barclays, the position of CEO Bob Diamond is central to how this crisis unfolds. From our analysis, we can see that public support for Diamond is draining away very rapidly, not least because he is personally seen as associated with the scandal. As a result of this and the emotional sentiment associated with it, at the moment it's difficult to see how Diamond can survive. As we've already mentioned, this type of real-time consumer analysis is very important for PR professionals who need to understand public reaction to the unfolding crisis, brand and marketing management because of the impact it is having on areas for which they're responsible, as well as senior general management who are having to deal with the crisis as it develops. For more information, please contact Mark Westerby or Karen Williams at Spectrum Insight. Thank you for listening.